Hey guys, welcome to another episode from Stacy Here We Grow Again. Today I want to talk about cold temperatures, growing in Florida here in cold temperatures. We are growing peas in the garden, green beans, which are usually good in the cold. They can tolerate up to frost, guys. So I don't have to cover my green beans unless we reach below 32 and there's a chance of a frost on the leaves. But for these peppers, this one I brought in because it's in a container. I bring it in my lanai or porch. You call it up north. I know a lot of people don't know what a lanai is, but it's just a porch that we have here that's screened in. And I take all my plants in there and then I cover them with a light sheet, which I'll show you. But some of my veggies needed to be covered last night, like these peppers. So all I do is take a garbage bag. You can get clear plastic. You can get, this black one like I have. Clear is probably better so some sunlight gets in there. But since we don't stay in freezing, guys, I can uncover my pepper plant just fine with this bag during the day. And I know this pepper is going to be fine to produce and grow in the sun. You want your peppers and plants to be uncovered for the sun because, if they're covered for too long, you might not get this pepper production and your plant will eventually die. So this looks good, guys. We didn't get any frost on her at all. So I'm pretty happy about that. These peppers look good. Now, peppers really like to be covered. They don't like to go below 40 or below like 35. I'll cover these guys. If we have any chance of frost getting on that fruit or on them leaves, I will cover because frost will kill your fruit. So this one just had flower buds on it and not fruit like that one or the one that I brought inside last night. So this one just has flower buds, but since I wanted to save it because it does have flower buds and fruit starting, it's starting to grow, the flowers are starting to pollinate, I wanted to protect it. So we just brought her in just the way she is. And this just got covered with the bag. I use them bags to cover my green beans. If we get below freezing, if there's any chance of frost, I cover my green beans. Carrots are fine to grow in this weather. So are peas. These peas actually really like the cold. So since we've been getting colder weather, they've been jamming. Peas do not do well here in Florida in any other weather but the fall and winter. I gotta say, early spring we can get away with, but summer these guys will not produce. So we got a flower bud here. There's flowers starting on that pea, and look how big they're getting, guys. So we're doing good. We're protecting our whole garden from the frost. We got little peas she's producing. Check them out. And then they'll start to fatten up. They get really thin, they start out, and then they start to fatten up with some peas in there. So we'll wait. That lettuce will be fine for the frost. It's doing really well from when we transplanted it too. And my watermelon had to be covered last night too. So I want to show you guys because we covered this. Now the way I cover this is with a light sheet, which we're going to go inside in a second. And I'm going to show you the way I covered this watermelon. Basically the same way. We just threw a sheet. We made sure this I didn't cover. Now our ground does not freeze here in Florida, so I don't have to worry about the ground covering the roots and stuff like that. I didn't worry about the foliage on this end. You can see it kind of got damaged a little bit. I didn't worry so much about this side because this is where my produce is going to start growing, all this healthy growth. So we covered all these leaves. We needed 2 blankets. We used like 2 moving blankets that we had from when we moved. So they got protected. They weren't harmed by the cold we got. Now, watermelon is a warm weather vegetable. So, that's the reason why we covered these last night. This fruit can get really damaged. And the cold actually makes watermelon lose its taste. So that's pretty crazy, right? You have to make sure they're protected if we're going below like 35. So usually below 35, I'll protect watermelon, my peppers, my green beans, any chance of frost on them leaves. She's beautiful, she's growing big, and we're just going to keep an eye on her and watch her grow. I'll take you guys in the lanai. You can see no frost damage. I'm so happy that we got watermelon growing in December here in Florida. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? I'll show you my garlic really quick. This is a cool weather vegetable, so these don't need any protection. Look how crazy this garlic's getting. They'll do just fine. Coleus didn't get damaged. Marigold's still hanging on. Haven't planted anything here yet, guys, except that little Coleus. Still doing good. Snake plants. This Coleus is still doing good along with my basil. So we still got production here. Now basil needs to be taken inside. I took my basil in last night because we reached below 40. Basil really stunts out below 40, but these blueberries really like the cold, so they produce like crazy in the cold. We get so many buds and blueberries starting on her. My blackberry doesn't need protection, and then this lettuce doesn't need protection. We're actually going to eat this, guys. We're going to grow this lettuce here to a full head. I weeded this out last night, so we're going to grow it to a full head. I'll show you guys how to do that. I'm actually going to seed that lettuce. Why not, right? And these green beans, I actually threw a bag over them last night. A little garbage bag. I cut the garbage bag in half. Just put a slit up the middle of it. And then I put it right over my green beans so I didn't damage any foliage. I didn't want anything to get damaged because, you know, our green beans are growing really big. And we want this to keep growing. We don't want these to get stalled out. We want it to fatten up. We're going to have a lot of green beans to harvest here soon. You can see we're growing good. She didn't get damaged. So just protect your green beans if you're growing in the cooler weather here. If you're getting a frost, any chance of frost damage, you want to protect green beans. These weren't covered. You can see they did just fine, and we reached about 34. Peas are doing great in the back. They love it. Radish don't need to be covered. Our ground doesn't freeze. They can take freezing temps too. You can see they're doing good. And then I want to take you inside, guys. I want to show you what I mean about the sheet that I use to cover my stuff up. So let's go in here where it's warm. This stuff did totally fine. I'm actually harvesting some lettuce today. So I'm thinning out a lot of this lettuce. I already did this tote. Oop, where are you? Right there. And I'm doing this one. I got spinach in there and stuff, so we're going to get that harvested. But I want to show you guys, see that sheet I use? I put my pepper plants under here. I put them in this container. I love this container we got from the farmer's market. They let us take it, so how cool is that? I got a little carrying container so I can just go boop, stick my peppers out in the sun. They do not need to be out in the garden because these are self-pollinating plants like we discussed in our video. I'll try to link that below or on the side here. I know I can pop up videos now on my screens, which I love, but we want to protect these peppers from the cold. We don't want them getting damaged because they're getting big. So we got green pepper and banana peppers and another green pepper in here. And you can see they did well, even these little seedlings. They're not damaged. They stayed under the sheet. I actually tested basil out here, so let's see. I figured let's do the unveiling together. Now for succulents and stuff, this is why I covered this, because my succulents are very frost sensitive, cold sensitive in general. Let me just get this off so I don't damage my beautiful Queen of the Night. Since we dropped down below 35 last night, I covered my Queen of the Nights. You can see they did just fine. And then I tested my basil out here to see what would happen. So with the sheet over it, even though we dropped below 40, these basil seedlings did not get damaged. So that sheet helped them survive through that cold spurt we had last night. And we're doing good, guys. I'll leave them here so they can be out in the sun and warm up a little bit. And this Nephitis is doing good. She's hanging on. We actually have to transplant her because she's getting too big. But these plants did good underneath the sheet. And you can see why I used the sheet here, because these succulents are really sensitive. If you touch their leaves here, they can fall off really easy. So we put the sheet on there because they are that sensitive. Now these calanchos here, these big guys, they are hardy to 32 degrees. But I covered them anyway because they were on here. I just kind of piled all my succulents together for the winter. And that's one way you can take care of them and keep an eye on them all together so you know they're all healthy. My pineapple was fine. That can withstand up to 32 degrees. She's looking good. They're crazy plants. I love them. We're going to transplant soon in them beautiful pots right there that we bought. So my jades did good too. Jades can withstand like really cold temps, like up to 20 degrees, I hear. Lettuce, But those pots are my new pots, guys. So it got handles on it. This one on the end here got handles, and these two are ceramic, and that's the plastic. We got all three for 20 bucks on Let Go. How cool is that? Till next time, I hope this helps you keep your plants healthy during cold spells. Here in Florida, we don't get ground freeze or anything like that, but when we do get temperatures low enough, we do cover, and I'll make sure I don't water so much. So you want to back off on the watering. You don't want to keep your soil sopping wet. You just want it a little moist, just so they're nice and healthy, because you can get a lot of rot in the colder weather with your plants. Please like and subscribe. If you'd like to see more to come, please excuse me, I'm just getting over being sick. I was sick for a few days here this past week. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me, with my voice. I've been losing my voice here in and out like crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and protect your plants from the cold. Happy planting. Bye-bye.